Hi. Every time I do this, I think, where do I start? Well, I'm sitting in a hotel room in another country, and I was attacked last night. Doesn't matter where I go. It's like, if you ask me, the way they've done it this time is, of course, they're in my phone. I'm contacting the owner about renting the apartment, and of course they've contacted them as well, and that's how they've got access. That's my opinion. How they've really done it, I don't know, but they do it. I don't know if you can even see this. I've got fresh burns all over me. So, it's kind of put my mind on the train of thought when I left. When I left London, thinking that, obviously I know it's the Met, I know it's the hospitals, I know it's the social services, I can't see my doctor. It's like bad actors around me everywhere I go. The postman, crisis team. There really wasn't many people left. My neighbours, my friends. I was locked down completely, so I had to leave. After being at the HS2 camp, the protest camp, and attacked constantly. I still can't move my left hand. My neck was gaping wide open across my back, across the back of my neck, where these blades were fitted into my neck, and very badly. And it sunk into my neck and healed up over it. And I put my head back, and it must have grabbed them both, because there was 2 strips put in my neck, and it just went bang. And I now have pieces all around my neck. You're not going to see nothing on this video, but you can see them sticking out in all directions. I did go to the police at the Strand at the time, and they just rolled their eyes at me. It didn't matter what police station I went to. It didn't matter who I spoke to, who I asked for help. My nose smashed to pieces, and my back just looked like chop suey. My head had been sliced, stitched, folded, these like staples all put in my head. What on earth were they doing? Like, I even want to know. Anyway, they shut down the HS2 protest camp. Everybody on there was just so guilty that they buried themselves in the hole that they dug for me. That's my opinion. And yeah, I think it was all over the news. They lasted about a week before they gave up. But they had another hole dug. And at the same time as somebody went missing, they suddenly filled in that hole and dug another one. Really, didn't matter where I went, people were just disappearing. Just died. Just so many. Don't even know where to start with that. And yeah, I went home after that. And I must have found a way to actually make myself safe, because that's when the police busted in my door, dragged me off to hospital for me electric shock treatment and burning shit in my skin. Very concerned about my memory. You know what they're doing? It's just appalling. There's not even any words. I got out of there, and then what do? I go home. I'm getting letters from the intake team at the hospital. Like, they don't mince their words, you know. They'll let you know exactly what they're doing. I mean, total psychopaths. I thought, well, I've got to leave. I mean, I'm locked down in London. Got no one who's willing to help me or even listen to me. So I went to Scotland, put in a hotel in York Place, Edinburgh. I really thought that the council were helping me. It was a joke. I had a welcoming team of these guys, probably the whole hotel, but I only spoke to a few of them, but they was obviously involved. I obviously had cameras. It's just the same thing everywhere I go. Attacked every time I shut my eyes. Drug poisoned. I haven't cut my hair for 6 years. I will prove it. You know, I'm not waffling. I don't even, this isn't my thing being here. I'm here because I need help. I need this to stop. I need a little bit of justice. We all need a little bit of justice. I can't be the only person this is happening to. They're all far too, dare I say, professional with what they're doing. You know, this is no new thing. Being isolated, and then isolated even on top of that I can't get any communication from anywhere unless it's face-to-face. But I can't get face-to-face with anybody because I've got all these people that follow me everywhere I go, blocking my way or arranging it so as they're there before I get there. Anyway, I couldn't do anything to help myself in Edinburgh. I tried to make safe the doors so they couldn't come in. And shortly after that, yeah, the police were there to drag me out and put me in hospital in Edinburgh. And I gave them a slip. I'm sure I briefly spoke about the ward that they must have hired. Everybody's actors in Edinburgh, all the patients, all the doctors, all the nurses. I mean, there wasn't any cleaning staff, do you know what I mean? This is how it was such a new thing. Nobody knew what they were doing, do you know? They're just so obvious. Very professional in St Pancras, though, where they was arranging to... You see, where they was arranging to send me, because they're the ones who are very concerned about me at St Pancras. I should imagine they were the ones who were paid an awful lot of money to make sure that I have no memory left. or just extreme favours, who knows. But there is a lot of money involved. And I gave him the slip. From there I went to York. And the police paid me a visit there. Then I went to Leeds. And the police paid me a visit there. They didn't drag me out, but you know, they're still imposing on me this like friendly threat of concern. Anyway, I went all over the place, the Hull, to Bridlington. I went to Lincolnshire, Skegness, Doncaster. I went Milton Keynes. I went to Blackpool. Blackpool, I was attacked horrendously. And it's funny, Boris did just happen to be visiting Edinburgh when I was up there, when he snubbed Sturgeon. There's a big thing on TV, snubbed Nicola Sturgeon. And yeah, that was when I was up in Scotland. And then he visited Blackpool when I was in Blackpool. It's almost like a shadow. But yeah, I was attacked really, really quite badly. Very badly. Nobody would help me. I finally got somebody on Facebook, offered me a flat. And when I moved in there, of course it's a setup. They've got passageways from the neighbour's house, holes like this box built into the wall, and under my mattress there's like a hole. I can hear them coming in from next door, holes in my ceiling, where tongue and groove, where they're actually moving the ceiling things out the way so they could get in. I had a wardrobe door on the wall, and they were poisoning my food every time I went out. I was so ill. I was so ill I couldn't even get out of bed. And I thought, after about 3 days, I thought, I'm going to die here. Well, that was obviously their plan. I thought, I'm going to die here if I don't get out. If I don't get out of this flat. And I just got a car from Toyota with a guy obviously made an extra set of keys for the car. It's like everywhere I go, as I'm walking out, my few bits of clothes in a bag, and I'm approaching the car locks as I get there. I'd only had it a few days. I didn't even have the keys in my hand. But, you know, it locked. It didn't open. It locked. Anyway, I just got in the car and I drove. I drove and I drove. Everywhere I went, I was followed. Everywhere I pulled up, people pulled up. Phones in their hands or computers. Everywhere I went. I was falling asleep in the car. I mean, I came down to London, first of all, and I was attacked in London. And this wasn't in my flat, this was staying in somebody else's flat. But they were getting in somehow. So I left there, and that's when, hunted down. Every time I fell asleep in the car, I mean, the window was smashed and they stole my disability badge. It was November, not last year, the year before. Freezing, freezing cold. No window. And no way to keep myself safe. I mean, they got the keys to the car anyway. I taped up the windows. And every time I fell asleep, I woke up, the car seat had moved, my clothes had obviously moved, and I got burns all over my back, my head, as usual. I mean, I was already weak where I'd been ill from poisoning. I had no time to eat, hardly drank anything. I didn't know what to do. I weren't safe in the hotels. I was so desperate. I see this really, really posh hotel in Kensington. I can't think what it was called. The Beaumont, or it was a French name. Cost me £310 to stay there that night. And I thought if I pulled up just outside the hotel and walked straight in there without booking, without, you know, there's less chance of getting a set-up. But no, I'm talking to the reception and she's reading something on her screen, looking extremely pleased and nodding to the screen. So, you know, obviously something's going on. I get a room, this is £310, in a musty old corridor, not where the main thing is, where people go up in the lift to get into their room. It's a side door out the back, and absolutely nobody else in that corridor. Like, complete setup. I went in and I complained to someone else, and they moved me. Oh, thank God. And just knowing that I had normal neighbours, but I barricaded up the doors. But I wasn't safe anywhere. Yeah, they was there waiting for me or setting me up. I was kind of getting really desperate and I didn't know what to do. I managed to make one phone call while I was there because there was a phone in my room that hadn't been removed. It's like where I am now. I'm supposed to have a phone in the room, but there ain't one. Yeah, and I left there. And the same thing over and over again. I really thought, well, it's like I knew I was going to be all right because God has literally got me through everything. But how he was going to do it, I didn't have a clue. I was outnumbered. The amount of people involved in this is shocking. Shocking. Didn't know him from Adam. And, yeah, I got really roughed up. And as I was driving, I thought, well, I know they're recording, filming in my car. So I thought I'd fire an insult at my ex. Something along the lines of, you know, the little statues in Greece, the little big man. And I kind of said that Dave was the big little man. Yeah. And do you know what? They all started coming out of the woodwork. This big guy, I knew he was one of the ones who was attacking me. He followed me into the petrol station, driving this big silver Rolls Royce with diamond cut front, all sort of lit up fancy lights. It was like a two-tone silver. And he was paying me far too much attention in my little white Toyota. I'm putting petrol in my car, he just walks in to the petrol station. Then when I go in to pay, he's still paying me far too much attention. Only he offers me 2 of his sausage rolls. I'm sure there's a little pun in there somewhere. But this guy was so desperate to be seen by me. Why? He said, I'm buying 4, but I only want 2, so you can have the other 2. I said, no, thank you. No, you can just have them. It's too much for me. You know, this guy's about, well, he's over 6 foot. And he had this mousy coloured blonde hair. Chunky guy, way over 6 foot. Chubby face. And you know, I know that I'm being attacked all the time. When I was in Scotland, is when I first heard about this MP rapist who had been videoed making little movies of the women that he was abusing. And this picture came up on my internet, and he looked so much like the guy that I'd seen. Exactly the same hairstyle, chubby face. Looked about right in it. He's driving a Rolls Royce as well. Although what he's doing, follow me up and down the country, they're beyond words, isn't it? I hope he used his bank card to pay for his sausage rolls, because that's absolute proof that he was in that petrol station when I was. Yeah. This is when I got through to the place. Then I made that statement about the little big man or big little man, more referring to Dave. But I think this guy took it as a personal dig at him. I mean, I don't know what his name is, but if the shoe fits. Yeah, this Rolls Royce came out of nowhere. I mean, the first car was some bird in this little red car, and she's trying to block me in, being the little sheepdog, following me about and blocking my way. There was a silver Jag, white Tesla. There was a couple of BMWs, a couple of Mercs, a grey, like, SUV or 4x4 sort of car. I'm not good with cars. It had a beat-up left wing. Then there was another little red car. He was in front of me. First, they were like just boxing me in. and running me into the ground. They knew that I'd had no sleep for a week. They knew that I was weak. And yeah, they'd shown their faces, every single one of them, and they wanted to be seen. They had no intention of letting me live. I knew that. At one point, his Rolls Royce came up beside me, and he's staring at me right smack in the eye. Then they all started speeding off, closely followed by this police car. I thought that the police car was chasing him at first. But when I pulled off the motorway and I was pulled over by a police car, taken to a hotel where I couldn't get a booking. When I left, the police were still outside, and this Rolls Royce was circling the hotel, then pulled up behind the police car and was chatting to the police, who very shortly chloroformed me and stuck me in the car, neatly taking me to hospital, where they're concerned about my memory. Who would believe that this sort of thing happened? You know, being attacked in broad daylight. But they've got the okay from the police. I mean, it's like when I was at the HS2 camp. Protest camp. Let me get it right. HS2 protest camp. There was messages coming back saying the police said someone's grass. The police said this person's grass. So people are actually seeing, and I was hoping someone would see what was happening to me, so as someone would stop it. You know, the police ain't listening to me. Maybe they would listen to somebody else. But the police were warning them. I mean, the whole thing is just awful. So yeah, I'm sitting in another country, really hoping that my skin could heal. But no, they're still getting it. And they're still burning holes in me. I mean, this has been going on. Well, it's been going on for nearly 17 years, but this bad from when I left my ex-partners. It was when I left my ex. (2019). But yeah, it got really bad. 2018, that's when he tried to kill me. And I saw a clip on Sky News clip where they were asking Rishi about this MP that was a serial rapist, and they was aiding his disgusting work by hushing things up and allowing him to keep on. And evidently he had his victim put in hospital. Like, he paid for his victim to go into hospital. But they kind of made it feel like they were doing something good. They didn't say that his victim was being put in hospital to have her memory wiped. You know, broken ribs, broken nose. burns all over the place. These things snapped all through my neck, cutting my throat. I am injured from head to toe. And they wouldn't afford me any medical treatment at all. Just locked up in a psych ward, drugged, and attacked every night. I'm waking up with burns, but, they were really trying to push this electric shock treatment. So, obviously, that's what they was doing. Or trying to. I did manage to block the door up. It has a lock on the inside, but they have a key. But I wedged the handle. No, it didn't stop them getting in. But it made the lock go bang when they opened it. And it woke me up. So most of the time they walked in and just walked out. I managed to get through to the CQC and I asked for a second opinion. And the guy was like horrified. I could see it in his face. It's not like he said anything. But there was like 3 moments that the guy had an epiphany and was really shook. When he went into that office, everyone in that office had bright red faces. I don't know what he said to them. But they released me that day. The occupational therapist gave me some really nasty threats she did, saying that she was going to be following me. And, when I was asking for medical treatment, and I said, people are sneaking in my room every night. They have like this meeting where if you're concerned about anything, you're meant to tell the occupational therapist. And she told me that I ought to keep my mouth shut because people die in their sleep. That's what she said to me. Horrific. There was another 3 girls that was kept in there that, the ones, apart from looking wealthy, the ones that are being kept there the same as me by the regular papers they have to sign and the medication that they have to take. Everybody else comes and goes as they please. It's really, really, really shocking. It's getting dark now. But it was where the Universal Credit kept stopping my money. They stopped my PIP for about 3 years. I got a bit of back pay with PIP, so I managed to pay for the hotels and I would never have known how vast their network was if it wasn't for the fact that I was followed all over the UK. okay. That every hotel that I went to was involved or got involved. That all the councils weren't able to help me. Where the police tended to follow me about. I mean, when I was in like 2019, early part of 2020, I had helicopters coming over my house every night, shining their spotlight in my window. This is their intimidation tactics. I mean, obviously I know what it is now. It was a stolen inheritance. And then that just because they was having so much fun. They're going out in hunting parties. The elite in their expensive cars, hunting me openly through the streets, dragging me out of my car and attacking me and putting me back. Knowing nothing was going to come of it because no one was going to do anything about it. But God. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I will be back. I do have so much more to say. I mean, I could do these videos for like 6 years. So much happening at any one time. Different places, different people, same story. But the amount of people involved. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. I do need help. I need help. I do need help. Yeah, until next time. Oh, yeah, try typing in Angela Taylor in the search bar. I've made so many videos for, yeah, shadow banned, hidden. Don't bother making any donations. Don't, and have a look in the comments. You'll see who the attackers are by the horrible, insulting, crude remarks that they make. They make themselves very obvious. Until next time, thanks for listening. Bye.